Hey, Logan.
Yeah?
What do you mean by bro? This is an English class.
I like to think you were talking about Socratic seminars earlier. Like, I like talking discussion. Like, I don't know, I'm just...
Am I your bruh, Logan?
Bruh. I don't know.
Logan, am I your bruh?
No.
No, I am not. I am your professor.
I don't know when I'm mute.
You got a problem, Logan? You got a serious problem? You f***ed up, Logan. Has anybody ever heard the term natural law language?
Okay. I'm a college professor also. I'm actually a dean. This was hella funny, all right? So no, the professor, if this is real and not a parody, we cannot confirm at the moment, is so extreme that you really have to question, is it legit? But I'm going to let you make that decision. Here's why it was comical. Now, no, a professor should never talk to a student that way. I understand, some professors get bent out of shape about what people call them or the vernacular they use. I'm not one of those professors, all right? When I first became a college professor in 2016, I remember on the campus, I was brand new as a professor, and I was telling people they can call me Rashad. And the dean brought me into class, brought me in his office, after class, and he said, listen, you are either Professor Rich or Dr. Rich on this campus, right? So I understand that. There's a protocol. And I understand when a professor would like to correct the protocol appropriately, but that was not, if it's real. But here's what made it funny. Boom. He definitely channeled the energy. This was some Ron type stuff right here. Key and Peele's sketch come to life. Logan is the Ron to this professor's Mr. Garvey. Now that's the lesson that we all should learn. All right, Mayor, what are your thoughts on this, dear brother?
He said, say your name. It's Aaron. No, it's Aaron. It's Aaron. Listen, this is unbelievable to me. But what's really telling to me is there's an underlying disdain for blackness, right? Let me break this down to people because people might say I'm reaching. There's this thing called African American Vernacular English. It is a real language. Bruh happens to be a word from that language. This is a class where you can get a master's in UNC, which is one of the #1 Division I schools in this country, teaching people what African American Vernacular English is. So for folk that don't understand the importance of English and language is one of the largest part of culture if you couple it with food. So I mean, the idea that he's ranting in at the end of the video, if you pay attention, he goes into this ideal about what natural language or natural English is. That doesn't matter to me. As a black man, English itself is a pidgin language. So the fact that you're saying that what bruh is not a real word for someone informally that you consider a counterpart, okay, you can be upset that this student is considering you his counterpart because you're his professor. But the idea to say that this is not English, this is not a derivative language, is absolutely disrespecting and also demeaning to everyone who is black and speak African American vernacular. I think this professor needs some time to, like you said, reconsider what his job is.
You make such a great point, and I'm going to piggyback on that point because in a serious discussion, naturally we understand the context of language. Language is meant to communicate. It's meant to communicate ideas, right? So why is there this heavy concentration of slang as the English vernacular would categorize it inside of urban communities? Well, that's because we had to figure out ways to talk to each other without everyone knowing what we were talking about. And we created subsets of our own, what's called social normality in language. And we have socialized that over the years, which is perfectly acceptable. It's part of a language that is not fixed, and English is not a fixed language, it's an evolving language.